I'm going to get started because it's almost 10 after, but today we're just going to do a review. And I want to kind of show you a couple of quick things here real quick. So we can kind of get ready for next week. We shall see, and figure out what our project's going to be. I think what we're going to do is continue to stick with sound for another week. So we'll see how that goes and add a few more things in. So really, I mean, you have from now, May. So really, there's probably 3 or 4 more projects to do, and that's it. So we'll just keep chugging along from there. If for any reason, oh, there's Diego. So I would ask all of you, Jordan, Deshauna, Amani, Steve, and even Diego. Hello there, Diego. I would like to ask you the opportunity if there's any sort of project you'd like to work on between now and the end of the year. Give me some feedback. Is there an exploratory that you'd like to do photo-wise? Would you like to keep working on sound? Would you like to like to learn a little bit about Photoshop and how to make a poster? How to use Adobe Illustrator. But like I said, you'd have to have the software. You'd have to have the computer to be able to do that stuff. But, throw it in the chat. If not, I'm just going to keep making up lessons for you. But I do like feedback. So if there's anything you might want to do, let me know, just to keep things interesting. So I will go through that stuff. I think everybody here, Steve has a laptop. Diego, do you have a laptop for me?
Yes.
Cool. Amani, you do not, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay. And Jordan, do you have one? Okay. So Amani, what do you use? A Chromebook?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. Okay. We'll figure it out because I can teach some Photoshop. Maybe Amani, we can actually get you in if you want and pick up a laptop for the rest of the year. If that would interest you, because it's nice. It's a MacBook Pro and it could definitely help you get the stuff. I mean, do you intend to come back next year?
I don't know yet.
All right. Well, no rush. But definitely working with an Apple computer will definitely make things a lot easier for you. But I'm going to come up with some ideas. But if not, I will have projects for you for those that still have Chromebooks and things and don't have the Apple computers. But I will figure that out. So if you have no further questions, I will kind of jump into the screen sharing here real quick. And I really just want to take an opportunity to, as I said before, we're going to kind of just do a little bit of a review and discuss some other things. So let me open up some things. Chat and participants. Okay. So if you look at my screen right here, let's just go into the PM. Now this is super important because I have assigned 2 new assignments for the frame folders, these frame activities. If you go in here, you'll see there's a new one, 1.2 called marketable skills and 2.2 called employment search. Once again, easy things to do. You follow along. You have to download a document, fill it out, upload it, take a quiz. It's 100 points. Very easy way to get some points on the board. I would highly recommend you do them. I am assigning them to you, but if you do both folders, it's almost like it's enough points as if you were doing an entire large scale project, because this stuff's important. It's good to kind of understand how to search, for employment when you graduate, what skill set you have. This is actually pretty interesting, the types of skills and how to identify your own skills. And really, these are just little things that you can work on that maybe you have skills that you didn't even know you had. So for example, these are things you can put on your resume: babysitting or childcare. If you're watching your little brother or sister, cousin, or even an older relative, that would be good to put on the resume because you're literally responsible for someone else. Okay. What computer skills you have, if you're really good, if you've ever worked at a cash register, hosting and greeting customers. So there's a lot of different things on here that you may not think about in terms of what skills that you have. Now, if you look down here, what people skills do you have? Work ethic, dependability, do you have a good attitude? I'll just forsake everybody's attitude this year because of COVID, but do you generally have a good personality? Do you like to talk? Are you a good communicator? Do you work well under pressure? So these are like some really good, what we call soft skills, because you can learn all kinds of stuff out in industry on how to take photos and videos and audio. But if you don't know these soft skills, you're going to have a pretty difficult time finding a job because people aren't going to work with you if you don't have the necessary job skills when you get out there, and people skills too. Because you think about it, you might be working with people 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. And if you don't get along with them, it's going to be very difficult to do your job. So please take a look at those modules. When I finish the recording for this class, I'll post this video, obviously, and then I will post what modules to work on. But I actually did something a little bit different too. If we go back to the marketable skills, you always start at the instructions, then it has all the different informational things. And this actually says here, it says artifact marketable skills. This is the document you need to download to work on. It's called a skills assessment. Okay. And this will actually show you, what hard skills do you have? Like what things have you learned here in the classroom? And then this is the stuff that I just covered. What are the other skills you may have already learned, and what soft skills do you have? So this is a really cool assessment test or assessment form. And then when you're done, you're going to go right back to right here where it says upload. Okay. And you'll see here's the instructions, and you'll be able to upload the submission right here. Okay. So everybody understand what I'm saying? So download the form, fill it out, and then you have to use those specific instructions on how to do that. Okay. And that's what's in there. So, and then you take a checkup and a little quiz at the end, you're good to go. You got more points. Okay. But like I said, I am a big believer in it's almost just as important to have good people skills and soft skills as it does to have job skills. Okay. And then here are the instructions on how to save the document and upload it. If you do not follow these instructions here and you just go and work on it and upload it, it will come out blank when I see it. Okay. So please make sure you follow these instructions. Okay. It's on, where you would put the artifact. Okay. It shows you, and then you go to the upload page. Okay. The other one is the employment search one. And I won't, I have to go all the way through that, but using employment websites, what to look for in a job, ways to find employment. It's kind of funny because I was sitting down with my 18-year-old last night. He's not overly thrilled with where he's working at. He wants to find another job. He said, well, I don't even know where to start. I said, well, lucky for you, there's the internet. When I was in high school, you had to drive around for a job or walk around and look for a job or look at the want ads in the newspaper. I know I'm old, but you would have to go through these things and, look and search and find out. And it would sometimes take a long time. Now you could go on your phone in 5 seconds and look at all the local jobs in the area. So there's some really good stuff in here. Maybe you're looking for a summer job. You can use the information you're learning here to get yourself a job. So, just some kind of good stuff for you to work on and keep in mind and work on those professional skills that are so important in our industry. Okay. And, last but not least, don't forget, we're wrapping this up this week. And next week, actually, I do intend on giving out Photoshop project next week. If you're on a PC, for example, like Amani, if you have a Chromebook, there is a really cool free application called GIMP. It's GIMP. It's a free program that is basically Adobe Photoshop that you can use on your laptop. You could also use Google Draw. You could use Google. So there's different ways to do the project, but probably some type of, poster project or marketing thing. So we'll figure that out, but we'll get you some skills in that program. But let's not forget, getting the Foley artist stuff done, get your sound effect thing done. Deshaun, I got yours. It was great. Thanks for sharing that with me. It cracked me up. But make sure, get that done. I will also kind of jump back here real quick. There is a quiz that is live right now in the folder here, marking period 4, level 1. And usually this is how it always looks for every project. You have your project, you have a couple ed puzzles, and then you have a quiz. So you're always going to have at least an ed puzzle, quiz, and a project every time you see this section number, we call it. Okay. So make sure you're working on those. So that quiz is coming up. Okay. It needs to be done soon. So jumping back over here to the lectures, we'll scroll back down. So I added this the other day. So this quiz, can include this vocabulary terms here. Please make sure you check them out. Make sure you watch this video, Introduction to Foley and Sound Effects, and especially the ed puzzle. I'm definitely going to tell you some of the questions are from the ed puzzle. Okay. But this is something I added the other day with some of the vocabulary terms that are right down here. This just does a better job explaining. Like I said before, sound is like any other type. It's a form of energy. Okay, it's a vibration. It's invisible. It can travel through sound, solids, liquids, gases, things like that. And you would think sound travels faster through the air. It does not. It actually travels faster through objects. Like, for example, and farther. So if you think about it, if I yell, it's only going to go so far, but imagine talking into a telephone. It travels along this long wire, and then that's how the sound gets received on the other end. Okay. All sounds are not alike. There's separate things to it called pitch and loudness. Pitch is if I talk real high or talk real low. Loudness is if I'm yelling it to you or I'm whispering it to you. Okay. I'm really not a good whisperer because I'm a very loud person. But that's how it works. And you can see lower frequency sounds have bigger waves in them. Okay. Imagine it like waves in the ocean. Higher frequency, higher pitch, like bird chirps, things like that. Whistles have a really tight wave pattern. Okay. And the thing too is so for example, when you have a longer piano string, it vibrates slower, it creates a lower pitch because it has a longer distance to travel. Okay. And we talked about usually the loudest thing you hear with music, say your neighbors are being loud and obnoxious, is the bass tube or bass. When a car comes rolling down the street, the first thing you hear is bass. Okay. So like, if we sing happy birthday to Deshauna at a very high pitch, the waves will travel tighter and faster, right? So that's how we would do it. Let's see here. So scrolling down a bit. So basic principles. There's some crazy stuff in here. And actually, this is stuff you're going to learn next year, but at least it's a little bit of kind of an introduction for you on the basic principles of sound. Same thing here I mentioned before. Sound is a form of energy, so, similar to light. There's also some things. This is a pretty cool analogy explaining like when you throw a rock in the water and it ripples. Okay. The wavelength is the distance between the ripples, and what's called the amplitude is how high the ripple is. Okay. And that's the stuff we just talked about yesterday. Then you have sind wave. This is not going to be in the quiz. Okay. But I always like to post this stuff because you will become more exposed to it next year when you're in the sound studio. Okay. And then I just like throwing these, maybe one day you actually take a look at it. Some of these words will look familiar to you, and it really kind of digs in. Now, I know a lot of students, some students are interested, but I know there's quite a few students that are in this program to learn about sound. I would tell you sound people to definitely jump in and look at these things here. Okay, this covers all the basic stuff of working in a recording studio and how you record sound, the types of sound, and how sounds are broken down into their individual elements. Okay. So that's really what I had for today. My goal for you is to have this project done. Does anybody know what the exploratory project is? other than Deshauna? Come on, people, wake up. Diego, you know what the exploratory is?
Is the that one with the sun, right? I'm kind of
Yes,
like
it is one with the sound. So good.
my Wi-Fi is kind of slow,
That's
so
okay, buddy. So if you never know, you always scroll to the bottom because it's the newest one. Everyday sounds. Do not forget. Get those everyday sounds. You can take pictures of the wind right now, because it's crazy outside right now. But like I said, your pets, when you take a shower, when you eat your food, when you slam the microwave door, when you hit the microwave button, um, get those everyday sound images for me too. Okay. It's an easy thing to do. Grab your smartphone. Everybody have smartphones. Amani, do you have a smartphone you can take pictures with? Amani, are you paying attention?
She's sleeping.
Uh-oh. Amani.
No, sorry. I had to get ready for work too at the same time. I
Okay.
got working a little bit.
Where do you work at?
Shenandoah, but I gotta get on the bus, so
Oh, well, I appreciate it. You know what? I do have quite a few students that do work over at Shenandoah. All right, well, cool. Well, actually, I'm pretty much done. I just wanted to kind of pull all this thing. What time does your bus leave, Amani? What time do you have to leave class to go to make sure you get the bus?
Well, this class usually ends like around 1:30, so I do everything I have to do, and then I go on the 209 bus. I be there early because I have to walk there and then walk all the way around there. So
Oh,
a
okay.
while.
Well, I want to make sure that I appreciate you telling me that, so I'll make sure I end on time. Or just so you know, Amani, you're more than welcome to jump out of class when you need to leave, so you can make the bus. I don't want you to be late. So that's what I had for today. If anybody has questions, let me know. I'll obviously be working all day tomorrow, so you can hit me up via email. Deshauna, have a very happy 16th birthday. I hope you enjoy yourself. Go crazy, have fun. Super
Thank
sweet
you.
16. Treat yourself and have a great time. Everybody else, have a great day. Steve, buddy, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
thank you.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Take
Yep,
care,
have a
everybody.
great day.
All right. Thanks. See you tomorrow, Steve.